So, Krispy Kreme, we all know it, right? You see that hot light on, you pull over. It's just one of those brands everyone loves. But here's the really weird part. The stock has been in an absolute free fall. It makes no sense. How can a company this popular have a stock chart that's completely collapsing? We're going to break it down. Okay, first, just look at this number. We're talking a drop of around 65% in just the last year. That's not a dip, that's a nosedive. A number like that, it just screams that something is serious, wrong under the hood. And that really is the question here, isn't it? It's a total puzzle. You have this brand we all love on one side, and on the other, a complete financial disaster. To really get what's happening, we've got to look at one massive failed bet that started this whole mess. All right, section one, an icon's epic crash. I mean, Krispy Kreme's been around forever, a true American classic. But as we're about to see, even icons can crash and burn. Okay, so the McDonald's dream dies. And here's where it gets really interesting. The single biggest reason for this whole collapse, it was the spectacular failure of their partnership with McDonald's. I mean, this was supposed to be the golden ticket, their huge growth plan. Instead, it turned into an anchor that just dragged the whole company right to the bottom. And what's crazy is just how fast this whole dream died. I mean, think about it. Early 2024, Wall Street is buzzing. Krispy Kreme in every McDonald's. It sounded like a guaranteed home run. But then fast forward to mid-2025, and they've only made it into a tiny fraction of the stores they promised. And then boom, just 14 months after it all started, they killed the entire partnership. And this quote from their own management really says it all. Unsustainable. So what does that actually mean in plain English? Well, think about how Krispy Kreme works. They bake all the donuts fresh at these central hubs and then drive them out to all the different locations every single day. That delivery truck costs money, gas, the driver, all of it. What they found out was that each McDonald's was selling so few donuts, they weren't even making enough money to cover the cost of the gas to get the truck there. It's literally like paying a guy $10 to deliver a $5 pizza. You see where this is going? You just can't make money that way. So the fallout from this wasn't just a little embarrassing, it was a complete financial disaster. Let's look at the numbers because they are staggering. Okay, get this. In just one quarter, Q2 of 2025, the company lost $441 million. But here's the part most people miss. $407 million of that was what's called an impairment charge. That's not just a regular loss from a bad sales week. That is the company's own accountants basically raising a white flag and saying, hey, all that money we poured into this McDonald's plan, yeah, it's gone. It's worth zero. We have to write it off the books completely. It's a massive official admission of failure. And this just shows how tight things are, right? Right now, the company is sitting on nearly $1 billion in debt, $925 million to be exact. And their cash on hand, about $21 million. To put that in perspective, it's like you have $1 million mortgage, but you've only got a couple thousand in your checking account to pay for it and everything else. Pretty wild, right? And when you put Krispy Kreme right next to a healthy competitor like Starbucks, the problems become crystal clear. Look at the revenue difference. It's huge. But the real story is net income. Starbucks is making billions in profit. Krispy Kreme is losing hundreds of millions. And that's why you see that weird price to sales ratio. It basically means the market thinks $1 of sales at Starbucks is worth way more than $1 of sales at Krispy Kreme. Why? Because investors trust Starbucks will turn that dollar into profit. And right now, they have zero faith that Krispy Kreme can do the same. All right, so their backs are completely against the wall. And now management has come out with what they're calling the 4-pillar escape plan. This is basically their last-ditch effort to turn the ship around. And the plan itself is actually pretty simple when you break it down. First, they're going to sell off their international stores to franchises. This is a quick way to get a big pile of cash to start paying down that massive debt. Second, they're ditching their own delivery trucks in the US and hiring someone else to do it. This is smart because it changes their costs. Instead of paying for a truck, whether it's full or empty, they only pay for what they ship. Third, stop building expensive new stores themselves. Let franchises pay for the growth. And fourth, and this is the big one, be way smarter about who they partner with. No more low-volume spots. They're going straight for the big fish like Costco and Walmart, where they know they can sell a ton of donuts and actually make money on the delivery. Okay, but here's the other side to this whole story, the part that most people completely miss. On top of everything else, Krispy Kreme has become a meme stock. And that just throws a huge layer of unpredictability and, frankly, chaos into the mix. To really get this, you have to understand something called a short squeeze. The best analogy is horse racing. Imagine a bunch of gamblers all bet that a certain horse is going to lose, but then halfway through the race, that horse starts pulling ahead. All those gamblers panic. They have to rush to bet on the horse to cover their potential losses. All that sudden buying pressure makes the odds or the price go crazy high. That's a short squeeze. And right now, Krispy Kreme is a perfect candidate for one of these. A shocking 31% of its stock is being shorted. That means nearly a third of the market is betting the stock will fall even further. That number is just insanely high. It basically turns the stock into a coiled spring. Any little piece of good news could trigger that panic buying we just talked about and send the stock flying. So you have to understand there are two completely separate stories happening with this stock at the same time. You've got the fundamental story, a company with way too much debt, zero profit, and a turnaround plan that might not work. But then you have the market story, this wild speculative frenzy where the stock can shoot up 40% in a single day for no reason other than a short squeeze. This is why the stock chart looks completely unhinged. The price has nothing to do with how the business is actually doing day to day. So yeah, that brings us to the big question here. Is this a sweet turnaround in the making, or is it just a final sugar crash? Can their new plan actually save them, or will the company collapse under all that debt before the plan even has a chance to work? Honestly, it's a total toss-up. So while everyone's focused on the hot light, this might be the financial tightrope walk that's actually worth watching. Hope this video helps you on your quest for profits. Catch you on the next one.